Chapter 8. So we know that Gatsby waited outside Daisy's house the entire night, and she never came out. So the next day, Nick comes over to check on him, and Gatsby's there shoveling pints of ice cream in his despair. Well, okay, I added that part. But anyway, he is all upset about Daisy, and Nick says you should leave New York and forget about Daisy. I can't do that, Gatsby said. We've been together, and she loves me, and she told me she'd wait for me, but she didn't. But that's okay. And then the pool guy comes, and he says, I'm going to close the pool up. And Gatsby says, you know what, old sport, I haven't used it all summer. I'm going to go for a swim. Now, Nick's getting ready to leave, and before he leaves, he says to Gatsby, you know, they're a rotten crowd, and you're worth the whole damn bunch put together. So, then Gatsby is left alone with his ice cream. So Gatsby is out enjoying the pool, and we have to think about he doesn't want summer to end, and then think back to the time when he said you could stop time and the broken clock. But anyway, more symbolism. So, he's enjoying the pool. Here comes George Wilson. Now, he has a gun, but we switch to Nick, who's at work and talking to Jordan, and he kind of is over Jordan and this entire crew. So, kind of goes from complicated to updating his status as single. But he's also worried about Gatsby, so he keeps calling him. But remember, Gatsby is stuck by the phone waiting for Daisy. So he hears the phone ring. He thinks it's Daisy. We know it's Nick, but that's okay. Oh, murder-suicide. So we find out that Tom told George that Gatsby owned the yellow car. And remember, George thinks the yellow car driver is the one that killed his wife. And he also thinks that Dr. T.J. Eckelberg is God. And he's watching him, and he's telling him to get revenge for Myrtle. Myrtle. So, Nick comes back to Gatsby's house. He's a little worried about him. And what does he find? Gasp. Gatsby is dead in the pool, and George shot himself. Oh no. Now, the gardener finds George. But anyway, Gatsby is dead, and Nick is over all of these people in New York and the way that they live. But first, he has to make sure that Gatsby has a nice funeral. And Tom, of course, wins. Jerk.